By show of hands, let me see how many of y'all got into Alex Cross this weekend. I know I did. I deeply got into Alex Cross. And I'm going to tell you why. This is a series from Amazon Prime Video that I highly recommend, especially if you read the novels. First and foremost, the character is played by Aldis Hodge. And you know what? You had me at Aldis Hodge. Aldis embodies all of the qualities, with the exception of looking like Muhammad Ali. Aldis Hodge embodies each and every last one of them. The quiet charisma, the disarmingly charming demeanor, the absolute handsomeness of this man, the focus on the family being what drives him, but also by him being a kind of a very lonely man. It's an exile that he has put himself in after the death of his wife, Maria. So we've got what I consider a perfect casting for the role. Now, we've seen Morgan Freeman do an outstanding job as Alex Cross, and you've seen Tyler Perry also on the big screen play Alex Cross. But to me, who embodies everything as it was described in the book thus far, Aldous Hodge is the man, hands down. In the books, we know that he has a best friend named John Sampson. In the series, he's played by Isaiah Mustafa. And let me tell you, as larger than life as Alex Cross is described as being, the only thing bigger than him is John Sampson. And we're talking a mountain of a man. And Isaiah Mustafa captures all of that. I really enjoyed the energy that he has brought to this live action character who considers himself a brother to Alex Cross. He is the epitome of brotherhood and what a best friend should be for a black man. I truly enjoyed what he brought to the character of John Sampson, and I cannot wait to see more from him as the series progresses. And I promise you, I'm not going to run down each character and who they were played by, but this is another one that was very important to get correct for this series, and that is NanaMama. NanaMama is Alex Cross's grandmother. She basically raised him, and now she has taken up the responsibility of helping him to raise his children after the untimely death of his wife, Maria. She is played by Wanita Jennings. And let me tell you, Juanita has captured the energy of the matriarch of the Cross family. She is absolutely the beating heart of that family and the head of that household. Now, he is the true to life head of the household, but she runs the house. She captured the essence of this character where she's not being too overbearing, but she's also putting her foot down when the foot needs to be put down on Alex Cross. And her character is very important in showing how when a family experiences a loss of this type, that there is a sense of community, that there is somebody else who will step in and try to fill in the gaps so that this person is not bearing the load alone. And she embodies that so well. Now, while the story can get a bit convoluted at times, the performances by these actors kind of pulls it out of murky waters because sometimes the story can get a little wild. And for anybody who's ever watched a police procedural, you will see that in this series, Alex Cross does some things that we know would not be permitted in a real life scenario as far as law enforcement is concerned. But if you are willing to suspend your disbelief and get immersed in this story, you will enjoy it. In the story, Alex is trying to take leave of absence until a big crime takes place in the city, and it takes his expertise to help guide his fellow officers through one of the most sadistic serial killer stories that you can think of. Now, there are two mysteries at hand. in this series. One is the said serial killer that I already told you about, and the other is somebody who has been making threats to Alex Cross and his family. And in many points throughout the series, you will think you have it all figured out. I know who did it. I got the killer. I know who it is. And then you will find yourself reeling because now you're going back because something else wild happens and it makes you realize that all of your theories were wrong. Another character to keep your eyes on is Bobby Trey. Bobby Trey is a scene stealer. He's given small parts to play in probably each episode, but when he is on screen, he chews the material up. You will find yourself looking forward to seeing Bobby Trey again and this over the top personality, and he's just wild. He is a standout in this series. Bobby Trey is one of the key components that makes you want to keep watching this series. And finally, the writing. The series is paced very well, and it is written like it was written by Black people for Black people. And I think that is very important in a character like Alex Cross. From the soundtrack, and I mean the soundtrack is banging, to the dialogue, to the choices that were made by each director, and there is a stable of writers and directors. Each one has either written or directed a certain block of episodes, and later in the season, there is a block of episodes that are directed by two directors. I know one of them was Director X. I cannot remember the second one. If I remember who it was, I'm going to put it here because that block of episodes is mwah, chef's kiss. It's only 8 episodes. The entire series is very well written, very well directed. Seems like it gets off to a kind of bumpy start with the first episode. I feel like that's because these actors are still trying to fill out these characters. Once you get a little bit more acquainted with who the character is, I think the performances get an awful lot better. But in that first episode, I could say what I felt like was a little bit of forcing going on. And you let me know after you've watched it if you feel the same way. The first episode may have had some moments, not entire episode, but may have had some moments that felt forced. After that, once these actors got their teeth sunk into these characters, it's hard to differentiate the actor from the character. But that last half of the season, those blocks of episodes that was directed by Director X, the other director whose name I cannot think of right now, and the writing by the writers on those maybe last four episodes was absolutely fantastic. I like the choices that were made. I like the moments of build up. The pacing seems to be even better as we get into these final episodes. And the surprises just keep coming. And I don't know how else to put it. The surprises just keep coming. And no matter what you think you don't know shit. It was a fantastic series. And I can say that once I got started, I could not stop. My whole plan was to watch 2 episodes, come review the 2 episodes, and then go watch 2 more episodes. I am lucky that I had 8 hours just available to do this because I couldn't stop. Watching 2 episodes was not an option. I could not stop once I got started. It was just that good to me. And there are some other characters in there. The actress who plays Elle, the actors who play the children. Oh, the actor who plays Ed Ramsey. The just splendid performances across the board. I highly recommend it, and I cannot wait for the second season because yes, it has already been renewed for a second season. So, whew, just in case we were feeling like, oh my God, are they gonna pull the plug on this? They're not gonna Lovecraft Country us with this one. We're getting that second season, so let's cross our fingers that we get more after that. because to me, this was fabulously done. Excellent series. Highly recommend. Usually, I try to slow walk a series, and like even what Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black, I watched 2 episodes. They lost me at Honest Hoe. And if you've seen the series, you know what I'm talking about. Once they start talking like that, I'm like, this series ain't for me. I need something a little more cerebral, a little more thought provoking than that. And Alex Cross scratched all of those itches for me. It's not a perfect series, it's not perfect at all, but the performances and the direction and the writing will save anything that looks like, oh my God, it kind of takes me out of it. You get pulled back in immediately. And there's not a lot of moments where I'm taken out of the series. Again, some of the kind of procedural things for law enforcement that kind of stuck with me, but suspend your disbelief, sit back, and just enjoy the ride because this is definitely one that is worth it. Finally, if you watch Cross on Amazon Prime, what did you think about it? Is it something that you would recommend? And if not, tell me why down in the comments below. By the way, while you're commenting, why don't you go ahead on and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your notifications so that you will know when we do the weekly wrap up, which is my weekly entertainment news show, or videos just like this one. And with all that being said, I have got nothing else. I think this has been really, really an exciting time to be an Alex Cross fan. Hopefully you feel the same. Meet me back here next time at the intersection between common sense and pop culture, because you deserve so much more than just tea. Peace.